is up, everybody? This is your boy Gil here from the HVAC Uncensored podcast. Wanted to talk to you about some of our friends and partnerships that we have that help make this podcast possible. First and foremost is going to be our friends over at Yellow Jacket. Guys, I want to talk to you about Yellow Jacket. Being a second-generation tech, Yellow Jacket is the first HVAC manufacturer I knew. My father told me you can't go wrong buying Yellow Jacket. Boy, was he fucking right. For 70 years, Yellow Jacket has been an innovator in the industry and a name that we, the HVAC technician, can trust. So, guys, if you're looking to make a purchase this summer, which we're all making that dough, we're trying to buy some new gear, guys, check out Yellow Jacket. Go to your local supply house, or you can go check out Yellow Jacket at www.yellowjacket.com and check out all the new products, part numbers there if you need it. All right, guys, remember, 70 years of expertise built into every tool. Next is going to be still on that same kick. You're trying to buy some new gear. If you don't want to buy Yellow Jacket, you're an idiot. But anyway, if Yellow Jacket's not your kick, guys, go over to True Tech Tools. They have one of the widest selections of HVAC tools you can possibly get to. I apologize for a while. I was saying to go over there and buy Yellow Jacket. They actually do not sell Yellow Jacket, so I apologize for that. That was my mistake. But if you want to get anything else, go over to True Tech Tools, pick out what you want. Like I said, they have everything imaginable. When you get to checkout, put in the discount code Uncensored. That is Uncensored, and get 8% off your order. All right? Guys, last but not least is going to be Service Titan. If you guys are running a company and you're looking for a CRM and you're trying to step up to the fucking big leagues, all right, stop playing wiffle ball. Stop playing in the minor leagues. Step up to Service Titan, all right? Give us a message or an email or whatever you need. We can get you hooked up with the right people to get you taken care of. And, finally step into the big leagues. Until then, on to the show.
I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands.
One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. God bless the United States, and thank you to all of our global listeners.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go!
If you're trying to take your HVAC game to the next level, then buckle your seatbelt, crank up the volume, and try not to be offended. Because you're listening to the HVAC Uncensored podcast with Gil Cavey and Kelley McKay. Now, here's Gil and Kelley.
Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to the HVAC Uncensored podcast. I am your host, Gil Cavey Jr., sitting alongside my buddy, old pal, Mr. Kelley McKay. What is up, my friend?
What's up, man?
Nothing, man. I'm really kind of busy over here. Hold on. I got to finish this email real fast. I love that. Nothing, man. It's still that time. Still same old busy, man. Finally, surprisingly, this time of year, finding some help. Couple of guys that seem like they're going to be pretty good. So that's a good thing. I haven't got.
Yeah,
that's a positive.
That's always a good thing, especially if you think they're going to work out. You know, I hired 2 people about 2 months ago, and one lasted right about a month and decided he is not a good fit for us. And then the other one's still with us, but we had some possibilities, you know, during some of the interviews that we did. So we wound up bringing the next guy in. And he seems to be working out great. I think we probably should have picked him the first time.
Nice. Well, you interviewed like a whole shitload of people, didn't you?
Altogether, I want to say it was close to like 25 people. We probably had, I'm not kidding you, man, like 68 people apply, maybe 70. But out of all of those people, and I had two kind of ads going. One was like we're looking for somebody who has experience in installation. And the other one was like, just like, we'll train you. We'll train you to do installation or service, whatever you like. And can you breathe? And so out of all of those people, I had one person that had like real experience. And that one person, I scheduled an interview with them and they didn't show up. So that's what we're picking from here in Kansas. I don't know what everyone else is doing, but I'm telling you, it's a shit show.
Like I said, nobody wants to work because they're all sitting home collecting out $1,100 a week unemployment. And I'm telling you, if you know people out there doing that, I'm telling you, they're going to get a reality's penis smacked across their face in a couple of months when this shit starts to get cut off, because they're going to feel the effects, because business owners are going to realize when all of a sudden there's droves of people coming wanting work, they're going to realize why they're coming. And guess what? Don't come to my company, because I'm going to tell you to fucking hit the road, Jack. Kick rocks. I don't want nothing to do with you.
Come February, March, April, all these people are going to be looking for jobs, because that'll be the 1 year mark, roughly. That will be the 1 year mark, whenever, depending on when they were let go. So there's going to be like way too many people, not enough jobs people are looking for jobs. But here's the thing is, I would challenge any business owner who has those people, because we're going to see people come apply. I guarantee it's going to happen. So I would challenge you to hire them because, for one, they're not going to be a good fit for your company. I can tell you right now, they're lazy. They don't want to work, or they'd be out there getting a job right now. They'd be looking for a job right now. For two, they're a year behind. Like, they've been not doing shit for the last year, probably, most likely. And they're going to be a year behind everyone else. Like, that means their communication skills didn't increase, their sales ability didn't increase, their technical ability didn't increase, because they've been sitting on ass. So, like, I would challenge everybody not to hire those people. I know it may sound harsh, but I don't give a damn. Like, there's just no sense in sitting there being a sponge for any reason when you're perfectly capable of getting your ass up and going back to work.
Especially when there's people who need it, people who can't work.
Now, that's the thing too, is that there are going to be people out there who literally have chosen a profession that has been completely shut down, and they don't have a choice. They literally cannot go to work. And that's one thing. Okay. That's one thing. But to be able to, if you have a skill set that allows you to go do something else that's pretty much just like what you do, or you get what I'm saying? Like, it could be cross careers.
You can see what their last job was. If it was
sure,
and now they're trying to come into this, then it's different. But if they've been in the trades, any kind of trade, they should have been working.
Absolutely.
Period. So
absolutely. So if they haven't been working, they've been sitting on ass for over a year, collecting that unemployment, don't hire them. They're not going to be a good fit for you. They're going to be lazy, especially the first 3, 4, 5 months of them back to work. They're really going to be lazy, just getting acclimated, getting their bodies acclimated back to the work life.
Yeah.
So don't do it.
The ball scratching couch life.
Yeah. It's so... It amazes me when we go to hire somebody, just how many people can't just have a regular conversation with you, like have no communication skills whatsoever, let alone like being able to write anything. I mean, I know a lot of people right now do not have good writing skills, and they don't need them anymore. So, most of the time in our jobs, they don't really need them. So that's fine. But to communicate, not within our industry. Because I'm having to hire outside of the industry, and that's what we've had the best luck with anyhow. But to just have the ability to just have a conversation
about the weather,
about anything, no shit. I'm talking this one dude I interviewed was like, yep. 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 When I left the interview, I was like, yep. Like I was saying, yep. Because I shit you not, I probably heard yep 68 times.
That's when you should have gave him.
And it's like,
you're not getting the job.
You don't like, this doesn't register in your brain that you just repeated yep 50 times. Like your brain doesn't tell you to to stop. Like this is the stuff that it's insane. It is insane to me.
But I think that's the thing, man, with people like young kids, like on video games, they don't have to, or social media, they don't have to talk to somebody face to face. You know, it's just kind of like the keyboard warriors in our Facebook group and stuff. These are all big, tough guys, but they're the same person. If they saw somebody in real life and somebody said boo, they'd shit their pants. You know, it's just, it's, I don't know, man. It's kind of the society we're going to. It's few and far between to find those guys that have like the gift of gab like I do. You know?
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah. To just be able to have a regular conversation. It's, like you'll quickly find out if you've done any interviews and you have a big handful of people come through your office. Like you find out real quickly that just to be able to have that one skill, just to be able to sit there and talk fluently, it's rare. It's crazy. It's like, it might be like 5 out of 20 that can actually sit down and talk straight with you. So,
well, I told you I had the one guy who, sorry, I'm changing these lights. The one guy came through, he had a fucking anklet on.
Yeah. I mean,
I think,
man, more power to him that he's trying to get a job. I mean, I'll give him props for that. But
part of the stipulations of his anklet, but he's still dick though.
Right. Yeah, it was crazy and it was an experience, but they're towards the end because I had so many cancellations where not cancellations, just no shows. And I know this is a big problem in our industry when we do, actually tell somebody, hey, here's a date, be there at this time. And then they just don't show. They don't call, they don't text, they don't message, they don't email. They just don't show. And probably had, I'll bet 40%, close to 40% that were no shows. It was probably higher, honestly, probably 50% no shows. And it got so bad that I was just doing like group interviews because we can't, and I do highly recommend group interviews. If you guys are looking for somebody, instead of wasting an hour every time somebody comes in or 30 minutes or 45 minutes, explaining all your benefits and, doing the interview process, like bring 4 or 5 people in at once. Tell them all the same time. And then whoever shows up, shows up. I did that one day and it was like 6 out of 10 people did show up. Well, that weeded out the 4 that didn't show up. And then I got to do everybody at once, which was great because then I didn't waste a bunch of time. I wasted 45 minutes instead of 6 hours,
And then you got those, as soon as you see them, automatically cut off the list.
Yeah. Oh, there's some where right away. You know right away. Like this guy's,
Yo, you own this business? I thought about shit, man, but
you just go through the motions.
I just work for somebody, like what? Yeah,
Yeah, you go through the motions, but like who's the candidates and who is not the candidates. So
yeah. For all you guys out there that if you're looking for a job or you're going to be changing jobs anytime soon, we went over this stuff before, but we'll do it again. Looking clean, smelling good. Wash your ass before you go on an interview. Okay, comb your hair, brush your teeth. Don't walk in with ass mouth. Yes, sir. No, sir. That kind of stuff goes a long way.
Way.
Once you get to know, maybe it'll back off a little bit. Like none of my employees call me sir. They just call me Gil. I mean, we play around and call each other homie sometimes, but not when they're brand new. No, not during an interview process. It needs to be professional. Yeah.
Stay professional. But yeah, totally get what you're saying.
Yeah, it's just, like we always say, just like we say with the customer, it's the same on an interview. You only get one chance to make a first impression. And if it's bad, Sad part is you're probably, unless you're like killer on everything else, you're probably not going to get hired. That's just the truth.
I've been watching the Wolf, Jordan Belfort, the Wolf's Den or whatever, the Wolf of Wall Street. Yeah. I've been watching his YouTube channel lately, and he says you got 4 seconds to make that first impression. 4 seconds. And if you fuck that up, then you would have to meet with that person 7 more times to be able to persuade them to like you or build that rapport if you fuck up those first 4 seconds. And in the first 4 seconds is exactly what Gil was talking about. You don't forget words. You don't even have time to talk. There is no words. If you do talk, it's your body language and your tonality. Those are the 2 things that, and your appearance. So all of those things, you could only say 1 or 2 words, hello, I'm Kelley. That's maybe all I can say in 4 seconds. So you better be looking right, and you better be, holding your posture better be right, all that kind of stuff. So, and this is with your customers too, when it comes to the sales process, 4 seconds to make that first impression. So make it a good one,
Yeah. I mean, and it's like we said, you'll have to do that to get the job, and then you'll have to do that to keep the job, because you have to do that with the customer every day.
Yep.
And I know these are things that we've already talked about, but when where to park at the job, where to stand, how to knock on the door, not ring the doorbell. Me and Kelley have went through all these things, in numerous occasions. But that's what we mean by all this kind of stuff. And it's the same way when you get a job. So anyway.
But yeah, that back to that tonality, when you first get to a house, you're not going to say, you're going to be accepted better and build rapport a lot quicker. What I mean by tonality is if Gil stepped up to the front door and knocked on the door and said, "Yeah, I'm Gil with A1 Supreme, here to fix your air conditioner." Okay, that's one way to do it. But if you use your tonality and say, "Yeah, I'm Gil with A1 Supreme, I'm here to fix your air conditioner," how I raised it up there. That alone, it puts people's guards down, and you're instantly it's going to help you build rapport a lot faster. So,
and that's one thing that I love about, not to get on Service Titan again, but I love how they send the email of the picture of the person, so they know who's coming out, what I look like. So when they see me, it's like they already know me. A lot of time it's like, "Hey, Gil," you know what I mean?
Yeah. You can actually send videos now. I saw that's a thing. I haven't looked in there and messed with it, but we talked about that a little bit one other episode, I think, but just that's pre-framing that we talk about. If I pre-frame that, we talked about the professor, the professor who is substitute teaching, and they gave half the students, this was at MIT, so very smart kids, half the students one bio of the teacher, and the other bio of the teacher. And the whole bio was the same picture and everything, but at the very end, it just said different stuff. It said, "This guy's warm and caring and really cares about his students." And the other one said something like, he can rub people the wrong way, or he can be considered cold in the way he shares his message, something like that, although he's a great teacher. Well, when they asked those people at the end of it, guess what? Half the class who got the warm greeting thought, "Oh, he's great. He loved us. He teaches very, very well." And the other half didn't like him. Well, when you pre-frame those people, when they get out to the house, it helps. Every little bit helps. Those are the little distinctions, the little subtleties that can help make a difference in your business. Real quick, because this is something that, I know I'm talking a lot here, but I was just telling Gil, I was telling Gil this before we started, but I listened to our buddy Tommy Mello's podcast, and it was with Joe Crisera. I think he named it something, the Starbucks effect something. You guys are going to want to go listen to that episode. I'm just telling you. Great episode. because I know a lot of you guys are listening to Tommy's stuff anyways, but don't miss that particular episode. It was really great.
Yeah, a lot of them are always listening to other podcasts.
Oh yeah,
and you should. There's a lot of good podcasts out there that come out every day.
Only after you've listened to this one.
Yeah. Another good one that we always say that a lot of our friends listen to was our buddy Tersh too. Service Business Mastery podcast. Tersh has a lot of good stuff out there too. If you guys are business owners looking for some good information, Tersh puts a lot of good stuff out.
Absolutely. So what episode are we on anyways?
I think this is 89. I think last week I said episode 89, but this is 89. Last week was 88.
Okay. 89. That's a lot of fucking episodes.
It is. And, the sad part is I feel like as long as you've been doing this, since we've like missed weeks and stuff like that, there should be a lot more.
I doubt it's that many more. We haven't missed that many.
Well, you figure we always, around the holidays, obviously we can't say this, but we've been going over 2 years because think about what our password is and what it's associated with.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's been longer than we think. So if you think, 52 weeks in a year, so we should be over 100. We
should be over 100, but
we take our holiday hike.
But still, when you're talking one per week, we haven't missed that damn many.
No.
I mean, a dozen.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Baker's dozen. I mean, don't feel like that many, but
no,
it probably is with holidays and stuff.
Yeah. And plus, guys, remember, and I'm not directing this towards anybody, but it is what it is. Me and Kelley are out here doing what we talk about. That's why we always start podcasts when it's just me and Kelley talking about what is going on in our businesses, okay? And the business that I run and the business that Kelley owns. Things that we're doing firsthand that we've seen work for us. So we try to pass that on to you to see if it'll work for you. Does it mean it's going to? Maybe, maybe not. We try to help technicians. What we've seen work for us, what we've seen work for our technicians, whether it is how to deal with customers, technical training, etc. But me and Kelley will always talk more about our failures than brag to you about our successes. That is not the kind of people that we are, and we're not going to do that. And I think there's a lot of things out there that it's about, hey, look at me. And a lot of these people, they're very successful. Hey, and that's great. I am happy to see any brothers and sisters, HVAC brothers and sisters out there succeed. I am. Sad part is there's some people out there that they're not. They say they are, but they're not. And I've kind of learned that the hard way. And it's kind of really hit me hard. Kelley knows maybe over the last couple of months that some people that I thought were closer than they were, and they're not. But hey, life goes on. I'm a big boy, I can take a blow and keep going. But yeah, so we may not come out with all that jazz sometimes and the hoopla. But it's real and it's fucking genuine. And you guys can take that to the fucking bank, man. We're not going to change who we are, our personalities. Kelley's been the same since he's, if anything's changed about Kelley, he's opened up a little bit as far as being more comfortable on the microphone. I remember when we first started, it was like me with Kelley.
I still struggle when we have guests sometimes. So it just depends on the night. Like I feel good tonight. I feel natural tonight. I'm not like all, nervous or anything. So it just really depends on the day. But yeah, thanks. I appreciate that.
That's you. And I've always been a big mouth asshole, and I'm always running my mouth. I mean, that's not going to change. So I just want to make sure people that know that, so I know some people, well, I don't want to say some people. There was a few people that, they were upset that I canceled the live streams. Not cancel, but postpone them for the summertime. Hey, guy, I'm out there fucking busting my balls, working just as many hours as you guys are. You know, it may be okay for you to watch a live stream when you get home, but I gotta fucking put it on, plan it, and I just don't.
Dude, I'm telling you, there is a certain amount of just being focused through the whole podcast every time we record, and especially when we have guests. Not that I'm not paying attention to you, but
you are.
You know what I mean? Like the amount of focus that it takes just to make sure you stay engaged and try not to miss stuff. And even when you do that, you still miss stuff once in a while. It takes a certain amount of energy.
Sorry, I was making a note of that.
Oh, you're taking some notes? Okay.
I'm sorry. I love that little type.
So yeah, it doesn't it? I mean, it does take a certain amount of energy. And when you go back-to-back nights, I mean, I can tell you my experience because, you know, you started the live stream and then, you know, asked me to come be on the live stream too. And I could tell you those weeks where it's 2 nights in a row, being present. And even though I know it's not like a big deal or anything, like if we fuck up, it's like, it's just hanging out. It still takes a certain level of energy to make sure that you're being engaged in that stuff. And it fucking wipes you out, man. By Thursdays, dude, I'm tired. I started going into work late by Thursday mornings, like not super late, but 8:39, just so I could sleep that extra half hour. Because a lot of times when we record on Wednesday nights, we'll run late. I mean, there's been nights where I haven't gotten home till midnight, which is 1:00 Gil's time. So just so we could bring you fuckers a podcast. So now that I got you and we're talking about this, like, just do us a favor and go leave us a review on your podcast app that you listen to. I don't have the other podcast apps. All I have is the, iTunes. So, or whatever it is, Apple Podcast. So we ought to probably check into that and look at like some of the other ones and look for reviews so we can read them from there.
Yeah, I think I did download some of the apps.
Okay.
I just, I'll have to go through and find them. I did download them because the one time, but the only thing is the one that I had, well, obviously we can't do Google Play because we have Apple phones. Not
Right.
that, Google Play's the Android store.
Right.
But, there was one, I think the last time I checked, there was no place for them to leave a review. Or when I tried to look at it.
On what? On Stitcher or something?
I want to say it was Stitcher, yeah. There was no place to put...
Really?
Yeah, because last time we went through them, we were trying to read them, and I was looking for them, and I was like, well, shit, you can't even put anything in here. I got to start making... I don't make folders. I don't like having folders. They just annoy me for some reason. Oh, here we go.
I don't like folders. I don't mind having 4 or 5 pages.
Yeah.
I'm not crazy with my apps. So 4 or 5 pages to swipe through don't bother me none.
Yeah, so let me see. Yeah, you can favorites, current streak. I have 0 listened. Downloads. Pending.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands.
That was last week's.
One nation.
Yeah.
All right.
One nation, under God, indivisible.
Yeah, because when I did the sponsorship reads last week, I wasn't recording. So Kelley texts me and he's like, hey, I don't see the red light on. Then he texts me again. Hey, Gil, I don't see the red light on. And then like 10 seconds after that, I'm like, shit, I'm not recording. So,
well, we had since we had a guest, it's hard to like just interrupt him talking. I don't want to be rude, but it's kind of important.
It's, matter of fact, let me charge my phone. Yeah, man. So, I mean, I'll be honest with you guys, man. I kind of feel bad because I feel like some of our episodes here this summer have been, we've had some good guests, but some of our episodes have been like not up to the standards that me and Kelley want. And I'll be honest, like just burnt the fuck out, man. Me and Kelley were talking off air before we did this, and my son plays baseball every weekend. We're somewhere, whether it's out of state, surrounding states, for the most part. Since the regular season was canceled, they turned to a tournament team. If I'm not working, I pretty much worked all July 4th weekend. So it's been a crazy summer, not to mention all the COVID stuff, which we hope that you guys are all doing good out there. I guess I'll let Kelley go into his little issue.
I was going to say, like, I'm the same way. I'm burnt out. It's for different reasons because I'm not in the field running like crazy and I don't have kids to go, take to ball games. But
well, you can be physically mental and
oh my God, dude. It's like
it can be different.
For me, I just take on too much. So I'm currently, building an operations manual that I'm going to not only use within my company, but also sell. It has everything, like every process that I can think of, I'm putting in there, and it's a lot. It's probably going to be like 150-page document, honestly, by the time I'm done. So I'm working on that. We do the podcast. I meet with my coach, just my high performance coach, every Tuesday and Thursday.
Put me in, coach.
Yeah. And then I have the coaches for the HVAC business. I met with them twice last week. I'm constantly looking at I just refigured, I was basically looking at our pricing and made sure I've been going through our entire price book to ensure that it's where I want it to be. Breaking down a couple of invoices on the install, make sure we're being profitable. We are profitable, but I'd like to see more. That's basically it. So I'm not going to sit here, and that's the thing is a lot of people, kind of like what Gil was saying out there, they just act like it's all roses. And like, I'm just never going to be that way. I'm never going to tell you like this business is fucking hard, and don't let anybody ever tell you different. There are a lot of moving parts in it. There are a lot of things that can go wrong. And I know it's like a combination to a lock. You get it figured out and boom, you can scale as high as you want to go. And like to some extent, the market plays a big factor too, but I'm just being honest here. I'm not going to sit here and, talk a bunch of shit as far as, like it has to do with the individual. If you're going to make it in business, I'm telling you, it has a lot to do because there's a lot more stress than what you're used to dealing with. There's a lot more risk involved. And if you're not to a position that you can actually handle that, not only mentally, but emotionally and physically, if you're like in the field too, if you've got all that shit going on, it's a tough business. And because it's so tough and all this shit and hell that I went through, I try to help other people, but I'll never come out and say, I'm going to make it easy for you. No, it's fucking hard, dude. It's fucking hard. It's not for everybody. So
people have rarely ever heard me and you talk about our successes. We have talked more about the things that we've done wrong and people not to do and how to fix them than we've ever came on here and said goals that we've hit or how much money that we've made, or we've just never, ever done that. And we probably never will.
No, I talk about my top line revenue. Revenue. I'll always, I'll tell you without question, I've struggled to be profitable. It's not that we haven't been profitable, but the thing is I've taken everything and I just throw it back into the business. I hire more people, buy another vehicle, buy my building, buy 2 Connex boxes. Like, it's just nonstop. Just put that money back in the business. Because
I told you when, I won't say the person's name because I'm not going to give him fucking airtime. But when a person kind of like tried to call out Kelley and started talking about business and saying this, and I said, man, if you had any fucking clue about what Kelley really does, man, you wouldn't be asking these questions. About how Kelley just said he takes all of his money and puts it back into his business. For owning a company, Kelley should, and I tell him all the time, Kelley should pay himself fucking double, triple what he pays himself, but he doesn't.
And my business, I've on purpose, I've structured it to hire somebody to just run the company. Like, I don't have to be there. I literally do not have to be there, although I am there every day, but I don't have to be. I could go in 1 day a week if I wanted to, because if I wanted that, I could give myself a $50,000 or $60,000 raise, boom, like that. If I wanted to just run the company, I don't want to. I want to do other shit. I want to have the energy to build the operations manual. I know we need it for the company. I mean, we have plenty of processes and stuff in place already, but I want like a physical product that's like, here's the Bible, because we don't have that yet. But we've got enough. They're just in pieces, individual pieces that we're doing. We would do fine we could not do anything else and we'd be fine. But I know that it's just about constant, never ending improvement. I want us to get better. I want us to continually improve. And, where was I going with that? It's basically just saying that, like, my whole business could change. I could instantly increase I literally could. I could do it tomorrow. I could give myself a $80,000 raise tomorrow, but I'd have to get rid of like people who have really helped me build my business. And I don't want to do that. And I also don't want to run it full time. Like, I don't want that. That's not my specialty. That's not, I'm good with like, being the visionary, and we're not quite to the point. I don't know. There's just a lot of stuff that I'm still building and still working on. But as far as when it comes to getting to $2 million, like, I've been over $1 million for like the past 4 years. We were stuck at 1.5 for like 3 years in a row. Like, 1 year was like 1.412, 1.459, 1.478, something like that, like 3 years in a row, and I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what we were doing wrong. I know we made a bunch of mistakes during that time, but finally I found a coaching organization that knew what to do, and they helped me, and I was able to break past it the very first year that we signed up with them. So I can help people get to that. I know how to get to 2 million now. Like, I could totally help people. And I know how painful it is to work your ass off for nothing. And so I just want to help people and give back that aren't, but I'd like to make some money for it too. I'm telling you, it cost me $150,000, almost cost me my marriage, almost cost me it could have cost me my life if I wouldn't have gotten out of it. I would have had a fucking heart attack.
Yeah. Time.
And the time that I'll never get back. Fucking years. That it doesn't have to be that way. And so but it doesn't mean that if you have been stuck for years and you can't figure out what you need to do to finally get unstuck, or just to get in a place where you can get out of the field. Maybe you're getting burnt out and you're tired as hell, and your wife or your spouse is just sick of you never being home because you're working your ass to death. Then, there's a huge mindset with that too, and an identity shift that I had to go through. And I feel like I can help people with that. I can, it's going to take us several conversations, but I can help you get past that, because I had to go through it, and it's hard. It's fucking hard because you have to become a different person.
Yeah.
So, because of all that, I started, building courses and wrote a couple books. And I am by no means like a guru of any kind. I'm still trying to grow my business, but I do know how to get your ass out of the truck and into the office. So where you can, from there, it's up to you what you want to do. This is what I've chosen.
But Kelley, in the grand scheme of things, there's more people like you. There's more people like me than there is one-hit wonders. People who have, who have hit it big, so to speak. However they got there, whatever, that's nor here nor there. There's a bigger percentage of people in our industry that are going through our struggles. Okay. That was my point. And you're right. Everything that you're saying, but I asked the listeners, I asked you all this. What I just said is 100% fact. And if it's wrong, please prove me wrong, because I know that you won't. That more of you are like me and Kelley. But the only way that you guys will buy a course or you guys will buy a program is unless this person has a bunch of hype and sells you a bunch of fucking snake oil. I don't have any course or anything like that. If I did, I would hope that you guys would trust me. I know Kelley bust his balls on building these courses. And I've seen them. They're valuable as fuck. And he charges pennies on the dollar for it. And I don't want to get on that.
Yeah. That's a good point, because I'm building, the course that I'm currently building is going to be, no less than $2,000. I'll never go less than $2,000 on the course that I'm building. It's going to be a $3,000 product. And you'll have an option to go $6,000 if you want to go through like 6-7 weeks training with me. And then we'll train for the rest of the year once a month after that. It's going to be a package deal, but I'm just saying, a lot of that stuff, not all of it, but a lot of that stuff is already in there. Like you could go in there for next to nothing. But I think a lot of times when something's cheap, there's no perceived value behind it. So it's probably my fault for not charging, $10,000 for it. But I'm going to charge a lot more once I'm finished with all this. It just takes time to build. And so if you want to learn something, get in there and pay something and learn something, I'm
going to be selling a scrapbook of wiener pictures. I've taken side action from the bottom, from the top, flaccid, erect. So it's going to be like you just kind of woo boner, woo. So I'm going to sell that for $9.95. Just let me
up shorts, sitting, legs spread.
Yeah. When every man out there that works in HVAC knows when you accidentally get, you got to peel your testicle off your leg because it's up to it. It's so hot. I mean, let's be real. Yeah. If you haven't had swamp ass by 9:30 in the morning, are you really doing HVAC?
Right.
Come on now. What are you really doing in the summertime?
So yeah, I didn't mean for this to go into this and talk about courses at all. No, it's strictly just a case of like, I'm not going to sit here. Gil and I won't sit here and tell you how fucking great we are.
No,
that's all.
And guys, and I don't mean this about, we're not directing this towards anybody, man. I mean, we're just saying how we are. That's all we're saying. And I think that we both have a long way to go, and that's fine. And we know that, and we know that by us helping other people, it makes us better. It's a win-win. If we can help.
Yeah. When you teach something, you got to learn it twice.
Yep. That's what they say. You don't really know something until you got to teach somebody else.
Yep.
So yeah, it helps. And I know that doing this podcast has helped me in aspects, and not to backtrack, but on the time and stuff like that. Like guys, my sleep habits were like almost like debilitating. I mean, Kelley knows it was bad. Like, I'm glad that I finally woke up, because it was going to get to the point where I was going to end up in the hospital or have a fucking heart attack. I mean, going to sleep at 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, alarm goes off at, 5:30, 6 at the latest, and going and working hours and then coming home and doing it all over again. So we
not healthy.
Yeah. We just try to pass.
Not sustainable, No,
that shit was killing me, man.
So honestly, I'm trying to think of anything else that I got going on, but, I just, through the whole COVID thing too, that was tough, man. That was a stressful time, getting through that. I currently have a guy right now that, is out on, he's got to wait 3 days before he can go get tested. I cross my fingers and hope. I don't think he's going to, it's going to be an issue, but, that's what he was recommended by a nurse at the hospital. So, okay, that's what we got to do. We got to follow protocol. So it's just been stressful, man. A stressful ass year. Started off a really difficult time. And so I know I haven't taken any time off, like real time off whatsoever for, man, anywhere we've went in the last 2 years has been for training of some kind. So no real vacation. So Tuesday, I'm burnt the fuck out. Like I just can't do shit right now. I just need to fucking chill. So I took off, went ahead and went in Monday. I was burnt out at the end of last week, but I went ahead and rested all weekend when it went in Monday. And then I'm taking the rest of this week off, and I'm going to go in late next week. I've got to recover. I'm not myself. I don't feel good, and it's just my own personal drive. It's not that the business is running me down. If I was still in the field, that's a different story. And if you're to a point where you can't step out of the field and you just got to do what you got to do. I did that for years, but I don't have to do that right now. This is just me and my personal inner burning desire to do some things that I want to do in my life. That's pushing myself too hard. So I just gotta, because take the fucking the earphones out of my fucking ear and just fucking relax. It's not that I'm tense or anything. It's just I'm like constantly absorbing information. Like,
well, that's
and it's just a little overboard.
Yeah.
So
good. Well, good for you, man. I'm glad. Yeah. I feel the same way. It's just it's always go. I think that's why I forget, because it's always do this, do that. Okay, let me get this, do that. Got to do this. And it's always on to the next thing. There's never like stop and just soak it in. It's always on to the next. Okay, get home at a decent time. Okay, let's take this kid here. Okay, spend time with these two kids. Oh, let me hurry up and eat dinner. Oh, God, you know what I mean? It's always.
Oh, hey, honey, how are you? How was your day?
It's a lot. And we got to take that time for ourselves, man. We're no different than everybody else. There's got to be that time to just fucking step back and remember what the fuck we're doing all this for, kind of get ourselves back on track. And in the summertime, it's even more so. It happens because the fact that we are so fucking crazy and balls to the wall. But it can happen anytime. It could be in the middle of a slow season.
When you're driven and you're pushing yourself and like, yeah, it can happen anytime. You know what? It's the equivalent. People don't realize this, and even me, I struggle realizing this, but I know it's true. It's the equivalent of being an NFL quarterback. You're an athlete. If you're doing shit in your life and you're moving the needle and you're doing stuff that matters to you and you're passionate about it and you're driven and you got a burning desire, like you're a fucking athlete. Well, you've got to rest just like an athlete rests. And, oftentimes I just don't give myself permission because I'm my own worst enemy. I beat myself up because I don't feel accomplished yet, even though I've done a lot of shit. Like it's not where I'm not where I want to be yet. So
we're always our worst critics.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
It is. Well, I think I can tell you that I think that you've done pretty damn well for yourself. You've come a long way. You have a lot to be proud of, that you should be proud of, and you still have a long way to go.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. And I feel the exact same way with you. I know how successful you are. You're super successful, man. And that doesn't happen on its own. It takes effort. It takes trial and error, failure, like all those things. It takes that to get to the next level.
Yeah.
And each level, you're going to fail again until you get there. So, I was reading about this, and I just did a video on it today, but it's called there was a Russian psychologist in the 1920s. Her name was Bluma Zegarnik. Zegarnik, yeah. So what she noticed was that when people had a bunch of tasks to do, she was actually in a restaurant, but I'm not going to go into that. So just to put it quick and simple, is when you have a whole list of tasks to do and you're able to complete all those tasks, or even half the list, you get half the list done, you are less likely to remember the tasks that you got done. Have you ever had a really productive day and you get a whole bunch of shit done? At the end of the day, your wife's like, well, how'd your day go? What'd you do today? And you're like, you can't remember hardly everything you got done. Well, that's normal. But if you're interrupted or you don't finish what you're actually working on, you're twice as likely to remember that. And that causes tension. It causes tension in your brain because you've got all these tasks that you're juggling. And it's like, okay, well, I need to get this done. I need to get that done. I need to get that done. Well, that's creating tension. And anytime you create tension, it's good and it's bad. It's good because now you have this tension and it's like, okay, I need to get this done so I can wipe that off my plate. But it's also bad because you can't stop thinking about it. Like your brain is at work. It's like trying to think of that song that you can't think of, or the name of a song, or the name of an actor that you can't think of. And then in the shower later, you think about it. That's because your brain never stopped trying to find the answer for you. Well, your brain doesn't stop, and it takes up, emotional, mental energy to try to finish these tasks in your mind. And when you get a whole bunch of those going at once, it feels fucking overwhelming. And that when you're overwhelmed, that can lead to physiology, like effects on your actual body, where you can't sleep at night, where you can't think clearly because you've got so much going on, your brain trying to remember all these tasks that you need to finish. And it can ultimately lead to depression because you feel this sense of overwhelm because I got so much shit on my plate. I don't know how to get all done. And man, I've been there 100 times, and I think I found myself there again here recently. So it's just,
I'll say, if I have 10 things I got to do and I do 9 of them, like you said, rather than thinking about the 9 things I got done, I concentrate on the one thing I didn't do.
Yes.
And that's just
because your brain likes closure. Your brain likes closure. So if you leave something open, like if I say, dun, 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 dun,
dun, dun,
and I don't finish it, you're going to want to finish it. You're going to be like, dun, dun,
yeah.
Because your brain likes to, let's close the gap here. Let's finish this off. In the video, I referenced another South Park episode where Cartman, if you've seen it, anytime somebody says, I'm sailing away, and then he has to finish the whole song. Yeah, that's the Zegarnik effect. Like he has to finish it to feel complete. And when you don't get those things finished, you can sometimes not feel complete, and that can create problems, man. And so, especially when you're looking at big goals in your life, and you get distracted all the time. If you get distracted and you're not actually taking steps and working on them, then your brain doesn't stop working on it.
No. And the big thing is always being true to yourself, always be real to yourself. Like we said before, don't ever blow smoke up your own ass. It doesn't help anything. It's just gonna, you don't ever want to be treading water. And I'm using that as an analogy. As far as anything you're ever doing, like me and Kelley said, most people that have issues in their business, they don't say something until it's too late. If you have depression, you got issues going on, try to get them fixed or say something before it gets too bad. All that kind of stuff. So I don't want to go down that dark rabbit hole, but
one of the things that helps just get that out of your mind is just to write it down. Write it down. Get it out of your head onto paper. Because believe it or not, your mind's going to be like, thank you. It's not holding it onto it anymore. Like you have a place that you wrote it down, whether it's your checklist or whatever the fuck you want to use. But then also chunking stuff down, the bigger tasks, the bigger goals that can seem daunting or overwhelming, that are taking up space in your head because you've told yourself that you're going to do this. You're going to lose that weight. You're going to eat better. You're going to get back in shape. You're going to, study for that test. You're going to do all this shit. Well, when you say that and you declare it to other people, then you don't take any steps to get there, it's going to fuck with you.
Yeah.
It's going to fuck with you. And so you need to write it down, get it out of your head, chunk it down, go ahead and start taking steps. Study for 10 minutes, fucking work out for 5 minutes, eat a fucking salad instead of a burger tomorrow. Whatever it is, like just take steps. As long as you're taking baby steps toward it, if that's what you truly want, then you're going to feel better and your brain can release the tension that it's holding. So yeah, I truly feel like I'm in a space, and it's me. It's just the stuff that I've done to myself. It's like nothing's being forced upon me whatsoever, but I didn't even finish my list. I'm trying to release a YouTube video every week. I do training or, speak to the guys at least a couple mornings a week about something. I'm answering questions during the day if they have any, obviously, just from my technical background, and also juggling, asshole customers and
juggling assholes, huh?
Yeah, juggling assholes. And then if you've got, any issues in the office, that shit's stressful, man. People are stressful. People's like one of the most stressful parts of owning a business. And that's why what Gil said, like, that's why we don't sometimes make the decisions that we know we need to make. That's another thing. You need to fire that guy. You need to hire somebody. You need to go vehicle shopping. Whatever the shit that is that you need to do, when you don't do it and you're not taking steps toward it, it's taking up space in your mind. And it's going to rob you of your willpower and your energy.
Yeah, and the reason we're saying all this, and Kelley's saying what he just said, is to go back to what I said here a little bit ago. Don't let anybody ever make you think that this shit is easy. It's not.
No.
We could sit here and make a fucking video of all the highlights. Okay? That would be a lie. That's not real. That is not how it really goes. So that's not what we're going to give you. When we call this HVAC Uncensored, it's raw, it's real. It's what probably 75% of this industry really deals with on a fucking daily basis. It's not putting a bunch of smoke and mirrors up and just throwing bullshit at you and seeing what sticks. So that's why we appreciate all of you that have been here so long, to our loyal listeners. And we think that's why we've grown so fast, because people can see that we're not fucking bullshitting you. That's,
and the giants in our industry too. They all the giants have on us is time. They've been through the bullshit. They've been through the fucking supply houses not wanting to sell them shit. Because they're behind on their bills. Like, they've been through all this stuff. They've been up their back against the wall where their wife's leaving them. Like, all they have is time on us, and people don't grasp that They think like the Ken Goodrich and, all of his success, like that just, oh, Ken's rich. He knows what the fuck he's doing. Well, I'm sure he does, but it took him how many years? 25, 20? I don't know. Because I don't know when he started to actually see success, but I can tell you he went through shit for at least 10 years, 15 years, usually 20. Mike Aguilera, CEO Warrior. I know Mike went through shit. He went through hell for years and years and years, but nobody looks at that. Nobody thinks about that. They think that they could just go be that like right now. And it might be possible for a particular person, like, that one person or the handful of people, there might be a handful of people across the country that can do that because they're in the right market and, they've done their due diligence with building their community as far as like mentors that they can reach out to and get the problem solved quickly. But there's also a tremendous amount of risk that they take every day to expand and grow their company. And that's a reason why some people don't grow as fast, because you've got to assess that risk and, are you going to burn the boats or not? I mean, I know to a certain extent, there's little points that you feel like you're burning the boats, but you probably really aren't. But to grow massively, you're probably burning the boats and like no turning back. If this fails, you're fucked. So that's not for everybody. It's not for me. I'm not like a super risk taker, never have been. But I'm just saying, you don't see what's behind the scenes. And I just feel like that's missing.
And that's what we try to give.
Yes.
Is the behind the scenes stuff that we go through, that we deal with, so that you guys know. No sugarcoating here. Never will be, never has been. And that's not going to change. So, shit, man, it's almost midnight here, right?
Yeah, that was a long one.
So,
I can tell you, because I had my business assessed for free by my insurance company, that because of the way it's structured, with me not running the day to day, it's worth a lot more. Regardless of how much revenue we do, it's worth a lot more, probably than somebody, does 3 or 4 million if they're still in the day-to-day operations every day. So just keep that in mind, guys. If I recommend that book, Built to Sell by John Warlow. That is a great book. It's an easy read, and it's going to make you think about the long-term, exit. Start at least, begin with the end in mind. Think about an exit strategy.
Nice. Good. Well, let's close this out, humble. Hold on. We get up.
Take some more notes.
Okay, go now. I want to press.
Woo. Ow. Thanks for listening, guys. We really appreciate you guys. I hope you got something from this. I hope maybe this was, not trying to sugarcoat anything, not trying to paint some picture that's not true. So, I hope I didn't sound negative in any way. That's not my, there are a lot of beautiful things about owning a business as well. And there are a lot of beautiful things about growing the people in your business and the things that you're capable of. Like it really is a great experience. And, but it doesn't come without, anything worth, it's worth fighting for. That's all I can say. So, but you got to be tough and you got to be able to put up that fight. So that's why it's not for everybody. Anyhow, love you guys. Thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate you. And if there's anything we can do for you at any time, just reach out to me and Gil. Just email us at hvacuncensored@gmail.com. Give us a day or two, especially during this time. We're busy. I've got like 4 emails that I'm checking all the time. Gil probably has the same. So if we don't respond immediately, don't sweat it. We'll get to it. And be safe. Take care of yourselves out there. I know it's hot. And if you're in a place of burnout, I'm going to tell you guys, give yourself permission to take a little bit of time off. Might be blackout month for you where you can't just take off a week, but have yourself an extended weekend just to get some rest, to spend more time with your family, because that's what it's all for anyways. So love you guys. Take care. Go make money.
Yeah, man. As always, man, we love you guys. We appreciate you guys so much. You know that. And you guys are the reason we keep rolling. Even through these hard times, like we just said, when we're tired and we're down and we're beat and we're just emotionally distressed, physically stressed. We do this because it's our fucking duty to do this, because we promised you we'd be here every fucking week to tell you how it is, to tell you ways to be better, to tell you what's going on with us. So maybe that situation can help one of you in your lives, in your business, and whatever the fuck that you're doing. And that's why we do it, man. We appreciate you guys, man. It's there's really no way to really, you can't express it enough. So when we say we appreciate you, we hope you guys understand the magnitude of how we say that. The reviews, the emails, the numbers in the Facebook group and on Instagram, YouTube, wherever it is that you may follow us, your podcast app, whatever it is, that fucking means the world to us. Every single one of you. I think we've built one fucking hell of a community here. Yeah, there's parts of it that get a little wishy-washy with the Facebook group, but overall it's good, man. We're still serving more positive than negative. And that's very humbling to me. That's what I want to talk about. That's what I want to bring to the forefront. Not how much money I have in the bank or how much revenue I personally did or something like that, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I made a video not long ago in my Facebook group talking about I did a certain amount of revenue in a day. And I made sure that I told everybody that wasn't about me. I just wanted to share that success with you guys, just like I want you guys to share your successes with me and Kelley. We want to hear your successes. We want to hear things that go on in your life, whether you had a big sale, you had an install, something that you couldn't fix, you didn't know how to do, and then you overcame it. You just got your license. You just got your EPA certification. No matter how small you may think it is, or we may think it is, or somebody else may think it is, it's fucking big to you. All right. And we want to celebrate those times with you. So I'm going to go. I'm not going to sit here and talk too much longer. I love you guys, man. I appreciate the fuck out of you. I said here 8 times already in the last 2 seconds. Be safe out there, man. Always make it home the same way you left. Guys, be doing the little things out there. Do what the next guy's not doing. Now is the time to capitalize. I want to talk about this in the podcast, but now prices, if you're a business owner, prices should be up 10% at least compared to what they were in the slow time, in my mind. Should be up a little bit. You should be making sure that you're offering everything necessary, because that sense of urgency is there. The customer will do it now, because guess what? 3 months from now, even though they still need the coil clean, they still need this done, guess what? They're not going to do it then. They'll do it now. Okay? Now is the time. Okay? This is fucking game time. Be honest, be fair, be ethical. Offer all of it now while you have the sense of urgency, because now is the time you're going to make it. 3 months from now, you're going to kick yourself in your ass if you don't. All right? All right. Till next week, man. I love you, motherfuckers. Peace.
Thanks for listening to the HVAC Uncensored podcast. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Instagram, or email us anytime at hvacuncensored@gmail.com. Now, get back to work. Shut this down. The views and opinions shared on the HVAC Uncensored podcast may not necessarily be the views and opinions of our sponsors or guests.